for me, personally, I was working from home for a while, and I had a really awesome office. So, and I have a nice house with a lot of space. And so for me, it was comfortable. I will say I was eating better when I was at home. I was eating more when I was at home, and it was healthy. And part of that was because my lovely, great cooking partner was home. And so he was
Yeah.
feeding me, and it was great. So I miss, I miss that. And so there was ways in which it was positive, but it definitely, the lack of activity was an issue for me. Um,
Mhm.
because in my house, my office was on the first floor, my bedroom's on the first floor, the kitchen's on the first floor. So I was like never being active, at all. Like I'm not even using stairs to go to bed. You know what I mean? So that was an issue. Um, and so I evicted myself from my home office because obviously I'm a business owner, so I can do whatever the hell I want to do for the most part. But I completely deconstructed. I don't even have a home office now, which might have been too extreme. But I made one, and the reason I did it, number one, was just to get more active. Because I do come up the stairs at my office, and so
Mhm.
that helped with that. And and see, I also benefited from the fact that I had a separate space. So for a lot of people, they didn't really have a separate space at home, but I benefited from the fact that I did have a separate space. So it was like when I'm done with work, I leave that room, and so I was able to benefit from that. But I know a lot of people did not, and I actually remember doing some work with some groups of employees during COVID about how to separate, and for some people, if your house just is not laid out for that, you can only do so much. So
Mhm.
ultimately, for me, I'm enjoying being back in the office. I enjoy being able to get up and go. I do like the ability, though. There are times that I have just went ahead and stayed home if I don't have a lot going on, um, but I do like the hybrid model, but I enjoy being at work. But I also work for myself. I think when the work environment you work in it's going to affect a lot. So if you got a lot of high school cafeteria type behavior going on at the organization you work at, that alone is a reason to not want to be there as much. But again, I think ultimately there are pros and cons here. Lane, I know
Mhm.
you, when we met before you came to Joy Society, you I think shared with me that working from home was can be problematic, and even when you could work from home and once you came on Joy Society, most of the time you did not.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think I've had so many in the past like 4 years. I've had every office environment that you can think of. Like I had the out in the community, the true no office structure, and then I had the classic cubicle, almost corporate feel, but it was like nonprofit. And
Mhm.
then I had working in a school, like in a classroom, basically. And then I had working for you, which was like officey, but also like it was just different because it was just the two of us. So there was that. And now I have the true work from home, not just like a COVID, like this happened. Now we all have to work from home. It was like an intentional, I moved to a space where I like set up an office, like where I'm at right now is like my work from home space. And that's it. There's nothing else in this room but that. So I feel like I can kind of speak to all of the spectrum in a short period of time. But again, I think I want to point to that it is such a personal thing that like it's just like I can speak to my experience, but this has like I presented all of this stuff, and like we know that for everyone it's just really different. It depends a lot on like your personality, like you said, what city you live in, what kind of space can you afford, and who else lives with you. Like there's so many factors. So for
Mm.
me
The who
personally,
else lives with you part.